What if I told you that one of the world's top medical research scientists made an enormous discovery, and you were among the first people in the world to know about this? What if you could use this information to help people physically, and in doing so, reap even greater rewards? The choice is yours, and the timing is now with OsteoDens. Let me introduce you to Dr. Narayan Naidu. He has a PhD in medical microbiology. His work on toxic shock syndrome and the discovery of lactoferrin have brought him international recognition. And Dave Balzer, founder of Biomedical Technology Incorporated. He has a degree in chemistry and an MBA in marketing from California State University. Let's join them now to hear more about this truly amazing breakthrough.
The biggest, most significant function of our skeletal system is the bone acts as a bank for minerals.
The skeletal system contains deposits of calcium and phosphorus, which are withdrawn on a daily basis from the bone for the functionality of various bodily organs.
And every day, our bodies go to this bone bank and say, hey, I need calcium to synthesize proteins. I need calcium for their neurological system. And it goes and it withdraws calcium from this bone bank.
The calcium and phosphorus that enters our body, either from the food we eat or from a calcium supplement, cannot be used directly by our system. It must first be absorbed and converted into specific compounds that our body needs, and then stored for use when it's needed. That exchange of calcium and phosphorus is what our bones do. As we age, our bone density does decrease. So what does density have to do with it?
When we say bone mass and bone mass density, here we are talking about how much of the bone matrix is tight enough, that how much is the porosity of the bone matrix. The tighter the bone matrix, the smaller the pores are, you can hold calcium much better. As we grow old, these pores, they get larger, and whatever calcium supplement you would like to provide to the bone would not be withheld within this larger pores.
OsteoDens optimizes our ability to replenish bone density, which in turn enhances that exchange of vital minerals such as calcium and phosphorus that our bodies need to thrive.
We have to withdraw a gram plus of calcium and phosphorus from our bones every day just to go along our daily lives, just to live and breathe and do what we need to do. And if that's not added back, then again, you're running a deficit. And what the OsteoDens will make sure you do is not only you're not running a deficit, you're actually running a surplus.
So you require calcium supplementation together with OsteoDens to augment bone health.
We should be making biochemicals. We should continue to synthesize biochemicals naturally that instruct our bones to continue to not only withdraw calcium from the bone bank, but also build back. And because we lack certain biochemicals and need these to be replenished, our bone density decreases as we get older and becomes a problem as we get on in years.
OsteoDens, a brand new category, a brand new product, the latest innovation in health.
For those of you who've taken a look at the OsteoDens and read the package and looked at the supplemental panel that's on the back, you may ask yourself, what's really special about OsteoDens? And I'll tell you in two very simple ways. Number one, the active lactoferrin enzyme derivative that's in there, which I call osteoferrin, is unique. Not only has it been isolated in a patented way that nobody else can copy, but it's been isolated in its active form. This is the bio-replenishment component that needs to get into your cells so that it can do the job that it needs to do to give you total bone health. The other aspect that's entirely unique and patented as well is what we call the portin. This is the port in. This takes that active lactoferrin derivative and puts it in the cells where it needs to be. And it does it in a very precise and a very controlled way, so that we're not taking a scattergun approach to getting this important biochemical in where it needs to be. In fact, it's a laser focus so that it is in efficiently, and we make sure that we optimize the components that are in here for your better bone health. As far as who should be taking OsteoDens, who should take advantage of this bio-replenishment product, I would answer very simply. Women over the age of 35, particularly if they've had children, should be taking OsteoDens and a calcium supplement. Men over the age of 40 should be taking calcium supplement and should be taking OsteoDens. And other people in the population who, as I stated before, have experienced negative pressures or who have put negative pressures on themselves, either because of smoking, because of drinking, because of strenuous exercising like weightlifting and distance running. Those are the people who have highly stressed their skeletal systems. They can also take full advantage of OsteoDens and a calcium supplement. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in a society today where a very large percentage of our children are obese, and they're growing up obese. And this has ramifications that are beyond just social. In fact, there are very real direct health problems that result from this overweight situation. For the skeletal system, what happens with the overweight kids is they don't go out and play. Going out and playing, going out and getting exercise, going out and competing in sports is fundamental to reaching your optimum bone health, reaching your optimum skeletal system health, and they never reach it. They never reach their bone density, optimum bone density, and so therefore trying to maintain it is a problem. For these children as they reach adulthood, OsteoDens will be and can be very important.
I've been involved in athletics my whole life. I've done over 30 triathlons, 4 of them Ironmans, and I still run 5 to 10 miles a day and do intense workout classes. And I know that I tax my body in doing that, so I take OsteoDens to replenish my body.
Both my parents are 84 years old. My father suffers from advanced Parkinson's disease, and my mother has osteoporosis and severe arthritic condition in both her ankles and her knees. She called me yesterday to let me know that after only 2.5 weeks, she has noticed the results, and so has my father.
For the last couple of years, I've suffered from RLS, or restless leg syndrome, and I've noticed decreased activity in RLS since I started taking the OsteoDens.
I'm sleeping better, and I then started to notice that my hair was growing faster and stronger, and my skin quality was improved, my nails grew faster, and then I started to notice that I had more energy.
I've been on this amazing product called OsteoDens now for about 5 or 6 months, and I had an incredible experience with it.
I've been on OsteoDens for about 5 weeks. In that 5 weeks, within probably 2 weeks after I started taking it, I realized a huge energy burst. My digestion's great. I used to sleep for 5 hours a night for the last 30 years. I now sleep 8-9 hours a night.
I've been on OsteoDens for 5 months. I was a runner for 20 years, and I got to the point that I couldn't run anymore. And now with OsteoDens, I'm back to running 4 or 5 times a week.
The best benefit has been I've been fighting gout for 30 of my 50 years of living, and the gout is receding dramatically. The flare-ups last much shorter, and I'm not in pain 7 days a week, which is incredible.
My hair's growing back in. You know, it's a little bit thin, and it's my barber says that she sees new growth back in here, so that's definitely a benefit.
Nails and toenails growing like they've never grown before, skin getting smoother and tighter. It's changed my life.
The last few years I've been bone on my knees, and as you might imagine, it's very uncomfortable. In September, my wife got me started on OsteoDens.
There's so many benefits to it. I don't know what it'll all be, but I don't think I've experienced them all yet.
I can now go for a walk, and my recovery time is minimal. I get up in the morning, my joints don't hurt like they used to. I'm very sold on OsteoDens and what it's doing for me.
As a health professional, I'm seeing wonderful results with this product with my clients.
As a baby boomer, I'm taking OsteoDens from a preventative standpoint. I don't want to end up on a bunch of pharmaceuticals later in life that have horrific side effects when there's a real all-natural answer here with OsteoDens. And besides that, I notice I'm sleeping better as well.
I know that my knees were going downhill pretty quick, so I know it wasn't a matter of if I was going to have knee surgery, it was just a matter of when. And if my knees stayed this good, if they never got any better, I don't have to have knee surgery, and they're just getting better every day, and I'm thinking that I'm going to take OsteoDens forever.
As a scientist, and from a scientific viewpoint, I find Bio-Replenishment and OsteoDens to be attractive, to be compelling, to be sexy. But if I go beyond the science and I take a look at the opportunity that's out there for you to take advantage of a product that is proprietary, that's unique, that nobody else has, and right now nobody competes with, I think the possibilities are enormous, and I think your ability to build a business and to take advantage of a new technology, which again is safe, natural, and effective, is boundless. When you realize that OsteoDens stands alone, it's proprietary, it's patented, and it has benefits for bone health that no other product anywhere else has, then you realize you have a responsibility. The responsibility is not just to educate the customer, the consumer, the person who's going to benefit from the OsteoDens, but we also have a responsibility to work in tandem, work in concert with the medical profession to educate them so that they understand that there's something better, that there's something that can be used, which is safe, which is natural, which is effective, that does not have the kind of onerous adverse effects that the synthetic chemicals have.